Satnam, Salimah here, yoga therapist, and thank you for tuning in to the YogaVision channel. If you found your way here, it's because, first of all, you love Kundalini Yoga and you've recognized it to be a healing modality. In other words, for whatever life is offered you, whether it's new opportunities or a roadblock of some way, shape, or form, you found that Kundalini Yoga is a good solution to that problem. So here's my promise to you as a yoga therapist and as the director of YogaVision is that my teachings will always be accessible, meaning whatever life stage that you're at, whatever stage of life is happening to you, you'll be able to do the movements, you'll be able to access the teachings in one way, shape, or form or another. That you'll see diversity across our channels. So whether you're watching YouTube, you'll see me here, you'll see Vanessa on our Facebook page, you'll see Charles on our Instagram page, and all of these different individuals represent for all of us the variety, the diversity, and the inclusiveness that yoga has to offer. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you for joining in on the teachings, for making your yoga journey a spiritual journey, because that's really what it's all about. We're human beings having a spiritual adventure. So without further ado, let's have a few thank yous. I just want to do a shout out to Vanessa, who's moderating the chat right now, Nori, who puts all of our videos together, and Charles, who's been looking after our social media, and many, many more people behind the scenes, including all of our yoga teachers in training, those who have graduated, who are always ready to lend a hand and to make sure this channel looks and sounds as good as it possibly could. Okay, so let's get to the content today. Once again, my name is Salimah, yoga therapist, and you've been watching my YouTube channel for about 10 years now. That means we've grown up together. And one of the things that I've seen most recently in running a studio is that people have been coming into the studio with probably one or two main concerns. Number one, I feel anxious. Number two, I feel stiff. And so in these self-awarenesses, there is some underlying wisdom. Number one, my body is stiff. And so if your body is stiff, then likely you've noticed some stiffness around your emotional states or your mental states. And anxiety, whether we believe it or not, is probably more common than 90% of us here in the population. So for some of us, anxiety is sporadic. It comes and goes. It's easily controlled. And for other people, it becomes something that's a steady state, a constant state. And so wherever you are on the spectrum of working through anxiety, let's spend some time today talking about what it is from a yogic perspective, and what are the different ways that we can manage it, take care of it, control it in a holistic way, a quick and easy solution type of way, and also in a way that's simple. So those are all of the things that I promise you today, is two particular techniques, and we'll also do a meditation as well. Okay, so wanted to just do a little shout out, taking a look at who's on the chat. Hi, Eve. Vanessa's here. Loretta's here. Thank you, Loretta. Yvette's here. Paula's here. Thank you, Paula, for tuning in. Choosing Divinity. Charles is here. And Nori's here. I saw your name a little while ago. Yes, awesome. So the house is full, and hopefully we'll have some good questions as well. So let's start by tuning in. This gives us an opportunity to stay in a vibratory frequency together. It allows us to tap into that which is beyond our personality, more that connects us to the oneness. And so sit with a tall, straight spine, press your palms together at the center of your chest. Sit up tall and straight, close your eyes, focus in between the eyebrows, and spend a few moments now tuning into your breath and tuning into your body. So eyes are closed here. Scan your body, notice from the base of your toes all the way up through the top of your head, and then scan your way all the way down. Notice where you might be feeling a little tingling, a little numbing, a little sensation of stinging or pain or alertness. All of those things are valid. All of those things make sense in the context of this conversation. Paying attention here, noticing and looking for sensation. Press your palms together, come to this neutral state. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and through the nose, exhale. Inhale very deeply. Exhale. Inhale and let's tune in. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. I bow to the teacher within. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale very deeply. Setting the stage now, readying and preparing your mind, your body, your spirit for today's discussion. And softly exhale. And just know that Vanessa's watching the chat, so if you have any questions that are coming to your mind, feel free to ask them. I'll do my best to answer. And let's talk about anxiety now. And I recognize that even the word anxiety can create anxiety. That's the ironic part. So first things first, where do you notice anxiety? So if that's something that happens to you, where do you feel it first? Do you feel it in your jaw? Does it happen in your throat or in your chest? Do you feel it as a clenching in your belly or further down? Does it show up as a sexual sensation, or is it a numbing sensation? What is it that comes through for you in order for you to understand that something has been triggered? That something in your environment, a word, a phrase, an idea, a concept, a timelining into the future, something has happened to take you out of the present moment and into something future oriented. So here's a phrase that always helps me. When I'm feeling fear, it's because I'm living in the future. Because right here and right now, even in this present moment as I'm doing the live cast, nothing much is going on. I'm just talking to a screen and I know that you're out there and I know that we're listening to each other. And actually, everything's fine. My kid's asleep, my partner's in the other room, and everything else is good. So what could make me anxious? What if this call drops? What if the technology bombs? What if the internet gives out? So these aren't real things because right now we're connected. These are future fears. This is what if, what if, what if. And the more I give my power to the what if, the less present I am. In other words, I can't take advantage of this present moment with you because I'm so caught up in what could be or what might happen in the future. So that's a first indicator. A little bit of clenching in my belly, that's what happens to me. And I'm clear or aware that I'm thinking about something that's not present, but actually in the future. And that's where anxiety actually robs us of being present in the moment, where we lose our connection to what's happening right here and right now, because the power is going to some distant place and also some hypothetical. And here's the thing, our minds are so good at making up stories. Think about all the stories you make up over the course of the day. Oh, that person must be not liking me because of that look on their face. Or, I'm never going to amount to much because look at where I am in my pay grid at work. All of these kind of things that are storytelling that aren't real, but are stories that we tell ourselves. And so that's a very powerful function of keeping ourselves safe. If I tell myself the same story about staying here, staying small, then nothing much can change. And here's the thing, nothing much can change. And if I'm in a good place, that's all right. But if I'm not so in a good place, then staying the same doesn't allow me much freedom at all. Doesn't allow any of us much freedom. And so here's the thing, remember that so many of us actually face anxiety, that this seemed to be a very clear call for interest in this particular topic. And so I just want to take a moment right now and shout out to every one of you who wrote in after we posted the PTSD videos, the live streams about that topic, because it was the strength of your interest that allowed us to take another step forward to say, hey, I know this is really important, or at least everybody who's watching finds this really important. So let's create more content on this topic. So thank you for that. And stay tuned. In just a couple of minutes, I'll be starting a meditation for you to practice as you go through this particular phase and while you're waiting for the next video to drop, which will be this coming Monday. Okay, so what we know right now is that anxiety is future casting. It's living in the future, and it's robbing us of this present moment experience. So, how do we come back to present? There's lots of ways, and you just heard me do it. Number one is to come back to the breath. So let's all do that right now. Wherever you are, however you're sitting, plant your feet down on the ground, or sit up tall and straight and take a deep breath. You can even put one hand on your heart and hand on your belly and breathe right here. Just take 3 breaths with me right now. Okay. So I feel better already. I know that where I am underneath my hand is more steady and more calm, and my hand on my belly has reassured me that I'm here, I'm present. My body is telling me that I'm present. My hands are showing me that I'm present. And this is very simple. Almost everybody, you've heard everybody say, hey, take a deep breath, it's going to be fine. But how do we do that? And the question isn't how necessarily, but when. And so, as soon as you notice yourself going into that future place, or noticing that you can't feel your belly, or you can't feel your toes, or something is tightening in your chest or your abdomen, that's the time to leverage the breath. Now, a long, slow, deep breath is number one remedy that you can do anywhere, anytime. But did you know that there are very specialized breathing techniques specifically for anxiety? And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today, is that your breath, when you control your breath, you control your mind. And when you control your mind, you control your life. And it's as simple as that, but it's not always as easy as that. How do you do that? When do you do that? And what kind of breathing techniques can I leverage to handle my anxiety? So we have really good news for you. Number one, long, deep breathing. That's always going to be your go-to. Number two is that over the last few days, Nori and I have been working really hard and quickly to put together a video package for you. That video package, you're going to see the link just down below. Vanessa's going to post that for you. That's called Breath is Life. And the Breath of Life series is a compilation of 4 different videos. You can't see them anywhere else. They're only available through this package. And that video allows you to walk step by step through 4 different breathing techniques. One to manage stress, one to manage anxiety, one for better sleep, and the other one for digestion. So if any of these ever come up as a challenge for you, any of these come up as pain points for you, this is a really important breathing technique to take on. I'll give you an example of how powerful this is. Last year, my son was in preschool and he was 3 years old. And there was a little person in the class who, for lack of a better word, just wouldn't leave him alone. I won't use the word bullying, but it was, between 3-year-olds. So there was a lack of communication or too much communication. And either way, my son was very bothered by it. And, his mom is a yogi. So we had an opportunity to talk about breathing. And I taught him a breath called superhero breath. That superhero breath is 3 sniffs and a pow. You can do that with me now. Let's do that 2 more times. Okay, 3 sniffs and a pow. I called it superhero breath, because he's 3 years old, and that makes sense. And it also makes sense for me because it has the power to blow away some of our problems. And we tried that breath out in the car every morning before I dropped him off at school. And I said to him, whenever this little kid comes near you, just tell him no, thank you. And you walk away. Go get a drink of water, go and play with some other kids. And while you're walking away, do your superhero breath 3 sniffs and a pow. And that breath was simple enough for him to do, 3 years old. And within days, he said to me, Amma, he calls me Amma, that boy's not bothering me anymore. And I said, okay, great. This is good news. This is powerful. Hey, this breathing really works. And the even better part was that a couple weeks later, that child's parents transferred him over to a different school. They had moved or something. I mean, I don't know the backstory. But look at that. I mean, if it has this kind of manifesting power for a 3-year-old, and that problem is relatively simple, then what could it do for you and I, for all of us, if we come into an emotional state that's difficult to control or that we're just starting to manage for the first time? Just try it out. Okay, so that's superhero breath. And the other 4 breathing techniques are something very special and also just as simple to use, something that I would show my young son, and something that you can show other people and other colleagues in your life so that everybody can have a better experience of going through our day to day challenges. Okay, so that's breathing techniques. And again, that is a 4-part video series. It's $37 Canadian, and you have unlimited lifetime access to that. Vanessa's posted the link below. And it's something that you can really leverage at any time in any place. Breathing is something that you can do in the washroom, on the subway, in your car, on a walk. You can do it any place, anytime. It's very inconspicuous. It's very low key. In other words, you don't need a mat, you don't need anything special. All you have to do is to remember that a technique is required. So that I offer you from my heart to yours, from Nori and I putting together a really interesting video package for you that's available just right now as we speak. So please place your order now. Let us know that that's of interest to you, and we'd love to hear your feedback. How did it go? Okay, so let's do another meditation right now. And then I want to talk to you at the end of today's segment about the power of mantra. Okay, so here we go, a little breathing technique and a meditation that uses breath work as well as a mudra. So the mudra is to hold your hands in Gyan mudra, first finger and thumb to touch. Put those onto your knees. Okay, so your body is calm and relaxed, your spine is straight. Remember, we already tuned in, so we're ready to go. And again, we're going to leverage the breathing technique. And so here, the breathing technique is to inhale in 8 sniffs and then exhale as a whistle. So eyes are gently closed, sit up tall and straight, lean up against your spine, close your eyes, 8 sniffs. And then exhale, whistle. Inhale 8 sniffs. Good. Keep on going. Inhaling in 8 sniffs and exhaling as a whistle. Now, if 8 sniffs is too much, then go for 4. And if you don't know how to whistle or it's not coming out with a particular sound, that's okay. All you're doing is forcing the exhalation out through your mouth in an O shape. Okay, just keep up. We're going to do this for another minute or so, breaking the breath into 8 equal parts, inhaling in 8 sniffs. Exhale. Good. So continue a few more rounds. I'm going to just give you a little bit more explanation. So when you break the breath into different segments, segmented breath, this starts to regulate the oxygen levels in the body. And because it's not a continuous breath, it's a segmented breath, it allows the body to bring in a little bit more air. And if you notice that when you're in an anxious state, your breathing tends to get shallow. It goes up a little bit higher instead of dropping right down into the diaphragm area. And so as a result, it's a little bit more difficult to control, to come back into a rest and digest state. And instead, we end up being a little bit more nervous and anxious just because our breathing is not deep enough. So, segmented breath will do exactly that, how to re regulate, to restructure the breathing pattern. And then the whistle breath gets right down into the abdominal area. So, in other words, it allows us to get a lot deeper into the exhalation. Both of these components are very important to re regulating the body, the mind, and the spirit. So, continue on for just another few rounds, and then let's continue. Good. Now take a deep inhale here. And through the nose, exhale. If you like what we're doing here, please make sure that you like and subscribe. Hit the bell button for notifications for when we go live again. And do your friends and family a service. Take this video link and send it out to them. Post it on social media. Let your friends and family know that you gained some value here. We're a channel that is all about being of service, to love, serve, and uplift. And if we do our part and you do your part, then every single little bit matters. And each one of us in our small way has the opportunity to impact many, many lives. Okay, so that was the meditation. That meditation is called Get Rid of Worry, and it's from the family of Kundalini Yoga. I wanted to give you one more technique and then come to the close of our live stream. The technique that I'd like to offer to you is the power of mantra. Mantra in the world of Kundalini Yoga is a very powerful part of this practice. Now, here on YouTube, because of licensing and because of background sounds and things like that, I've shied away from using mantra in the practice just so that we stay on the up and up with YouTube and that we don't infringe on any artist rights and licensing and things like that. But you will find an incredible body of knowledge and wisdom and sound vibration here in the world of Kundalini Yoga. I'm going to invite Vanessa now to put my link there. This is a playlist. So far, there's about 11 or 15 mantras that are some of my favorites. The sound, the artist, the rendition, the version are music that I play in my regular classes. So here's what I suggest about mantra. Mantra is sound, first and foremost. And there is an entire body of yoga that is dedicated to sound. This is the yoga of the Nad yoga, N-A-A-D, Nad yoga. And the mantra of sound is just as healing as any other type of mantra, whether it's the mantra of breath work or a mantra of movement, asana, or a mantra of devotion. Any of these are powerful forms of yoga. And sound vibration tends to be part of that body of work, which is what makes Kundalini Yoga so powerful, is that it encompasses and embodies all of that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding into one practice. Okay, so back to mantra. When you chant a mantra, so for example, when we tune in, we use the mantra Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. I bow to the teacher within. And at the end of a practice, we'll use the mantra Sat Nam, often chanting that loud and clear Sat Nam. Truth is my name. I am the truth. I embody the truth. I see your truth. You see my truth. This is such an important way to show up in the world, rather than to come through with people pleasing or our masks or our labels. We come through with a truth. And that mantra, these mantras really speak to the essence of who we are, the vibratory frequency of who we are. And so when you chant a mantra, our tongues as organs touch 84 meridian points in the mouth. 84, that's an incredible amount of places of healing, places of energy focus and of connection. When our tongue touches all of those places, 84 meridian places, we get a stimulation through the body temple itself. And then we speak those mantras out loud, or we speak words out loud. The sound goes out into the universe, it creates an echo, and it comes back. And that's what makes mantra so powerful. So when I chant the mantra Sat Nam, it not only sends my truth out, but it brings the truth back. And so over and over and over again, when I chant this mantra, Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Sat Nam, I have no choice but to act in my best, at my best, my truth. And the universe will deliver right back to me. The creative source delivers right back to me the truth of the situation I'm in, the truth of each of the people who surround me, and the truth of where I'm to be in my life. And all of that is very powerful. So I've put together a playlist for you that has all of those mantras that do that magic for you. And my suggestion is that when you're next tuning into a video, next doing a practice video, keep that playing on a different device. Have that playing in the background so that you have something to focus on, not just the breath and not just the words that you're hearing, but also the sound vibration. You can listen to that while you're getting ready in the morning, while you're winding down in the evening. Even more powerful when you're cooking dinner, when you're preparing food for yourself and your family or whoever you love. Then you're infusing that sound, that love, that dispelling of anger or fear or misery or whatever you're dealing with. We're allowing the sound vibration to neutralize and then also to uplift. What a powerful way to go. So the first song on that playlist, it's called Salimah's favorite Kundalini mantras, is called Chatur Chakravarti. And this one in particular removes anxiety, depression, and phobias. So it's a very beautiful version by Niranjan Kaur, one of my favorite artists. And you'll find there an opportunity to really soak in the mantra and to use that as some of the barometer for how you're feeling on a day-to-day basis, and to use that as healing. I can see some of you have put in some of your favorite mantras as well. Here, Ramadasa, I see here that's noticed. Yes, thank you, Charles, for putting in Ramadasa, a healing meditation as well. And yes, Satnam. Satnam is probably one of the most simple. You can use that as a walking meditation. Our yoga teachers in training this week will be receiving an assignment to start doing a walking meditation using the sound vibration of Satnam. So as you walk, know that you're walking with all of them as they go through the journey of becoming a teacher themselves. And you can take that journey as well. A powerful way to infuse mantra into your day-to-day life. So those are the tips I have for you. Just a recap here, anxiety is when we are living beyond the present moment. In other words, we're future forecasting and oftentimes living in a future that's hypothetical and giving away our power to times and places and ideas and things that are not even real. And so the best way to come back to that is the breath, a long, deep breath. And there are some very specialized focused breathing techniques that can help you with stress, with anxiety, with sleep, and also with digestion. And then finally, to focus on mantra as a way to heal, as a way to really come forward into your daily life, to come familiar with the practice of the healing sounds of Kundalini Yoga as well. So if you got some value out of today's practice, please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, share around with your friends, and a very special invitation to join the Breath is Life series that is separate from our monthly membership, separate from all the other things that we're offering here online, and an opportunity for you to do some self-healing. All of those are unlimited access. You get lifetime access. And as soon as you register, you'll have access to all 4 videos. So no waiting around, just get right to it. This has been a pleasure and an honor to sit with each and every single one of you. I'll give a shout out to Cindy. Thank you for joining here. Lupe, thank you very much for being here. And did I miss anybody? Is Lou here from New Mexico? Hopefully she is. And Vanessa, your mom Loretta's here. Thank you so much. It's been really a powerful way to take this practice forward. And remember, all of this to say that on Monday, this coming Monday, we're premiering a new video, and that video is all about healing anxiety. So I hope you got a little sneak preview today, and in Monday's full video, you'll receive some practice guidelines, as well as a practice that you can do for 40 days in order to strengthen your nervous system and really come forward with the practice of Kundalini Yoga. Once again, my name is Salimah, yoga therapist, and it's a pleasure and an honor to be with you. If you're thinking about how to get deeper into your practice, there's always yoga teacher training, Kundalini yoga teacher training, which is 300 hours. And some of my best students have come through there and have gone on to do some amazing things in the world. You can check out Nori's channel. Charles will be debuting on Instagram this week, and you've already been seeing on Facebook Vanessa and her work. So Satnam to each and every single one of you. Thank you, Paula, for showing up. And it's been quite a pleasure to be with each one of you. Again, hit the like and subscribe. It's been a pleasure and an honor. And until next time, until we meet again, my name is Salimah, yoga therapist, and I'll be joining you back very shortly. Satnam.